Well then, my hiatus is over. It's been a great ride. I have disappeared off the face of this channel for probably 2 weeks now. And I've returned to a day after a very disappointing result for England, but nonetheless something that we should definitely be proud of. Luke Shaw getting that goal in the second minute. Honestly, I was going to bring out a reaction fresh from last night, but I think I had to take the time to process it, allow myself to sort of get back into the flow of things, just go through it basically. And I think this has been an absolutely sensational tournament. Gareth Southgate has proven probably the whole country wrong, that he knows how to manage this side. The bold tactics going through it of playing this 4-2-3-1 without a Grealish, without a Sancho, without a Rashford, without some star players in the side that in previous years you'd have argued why we wouldn't have kept them in. And he's come in, he's had a system in place, he's played it to perfection. We've brought Grealish on for the last few minutes of a few games, last half an hour, last 35 if we've trailed. We've beaten Germany 2-0, we've dominated a Ukraine side, we beat Denmark in extra time with a Harry Kane winner. Honestly, I think we've done really well and we can hold our heads high after it's been a very difficult game to process. I think after the 45th minute we looked a bit sluggish. We looked like we needed a change. What that change was, I don't think anyone really knows. Whether it was Rice looked a bit like he'd picked up a bit of a knock from that challenge in the first half, so he obviously had to come off. Then would you push Mount back into a central midfielder role with Calvin Phillips, have that energy in the midfield still? Not so much the physicality with Rice there, but at least you'd have the pressures going through with Calvin Phillips and Mount liking to push the players a lot more. Then would you have brought on a Grealish maybe to have nicked another goal or something like that? But he switched it up, Gareth, from a 5 at the back. Well, it was a 3 at the back with 2 wing backs, so it was 5 at the back. I'd say a 5-2-3. He did play. Stayed true to the 2 midfielders, that double pivot, which was absolutely phenomenal through the whole tournament. And then he switched it to a 4-3-3, obviously taking Trippier off, who looked like for the team he wanted to come off, which I loved and adored, to be fair. Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw at the back with... I think we then dropped Mount into a midfield. We dropped into a midfield 3 of Henderson, Mount and Phillips, obviously. Henderson coming on after we can see the goal is probably the only mistake Southgate has made throughout this whole tournament. The only mistake. I don't know why when you go down to 1-1 and you know that they've got a great keeper, they've got experienced yet old centre-backs, and you've got the likes of Rashford, Sancho, even Calvert-Lewin on the bench would cause a problem. Grealish on the bench, not with an unreal pace, but with pace. It's a shame that we've got this far for it to end like it did. I thought we would have gone for it in the full 120 minutes or even the 90. I thought we'd have absolutely gone for it, but lo and behold, we didn't. And we went to penalties. Pickford saving so many. He saved 2 penalties. I couldn't even believe it. Rashford obviously missing his. That was probably the killer blow in that. The choices for the penalties, you can't criticise, I don't think. If it was in training, they've done so well in training with the way they've picked the sides, the way they've picked the tactics, they've picked the substitutions, they know what they're going to do, and then they've picked the penalty takers from the training ground. I don't think you can argue it. Whether or not it depends how you look at it. I look at it in a certain way where, as a player, and you've played the however many minutes, you probably should be wanting to step up and take a penalty. Never mind someone that's just come on for the last 20 minutes, had around 5 to 7 touches. You need to have a rhythm in the game. I think, personally, I'd have gone, Luke Shaw, do you want to take a penalty? He's been in the form of his life. He's accurate at putting balls in. Whether or not he's great at penalties, I don't know. But in training, obviously, you'd think about it. Then you see Grealish. Mount is a confident taker of free kicks. Probably a confident taker of penalties. Who else would you say? Phillips, not so much. Raheem Sterling, you thought he might have said, step aside, Gareth. I'm taking one of these. Instead, he picks 3 very young, talented players, 2 of which came on for the last 30 minutes, one of which was on for the last 50 minutes, say, or 50, 60 minutes of the game, including extra time. And you just think it could have gone either way. The keeper could have dived the other way. They could have switched the last moment and put the ball in the other corner. Rashford could have buried his perfectly in the bottom left-hand corner, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. Sancho and Saka taking their first penalties at such a high stakes, big crowd. It just didn't go our way. Donnarumma is a sensational keeper. I've made a video on him beforehand. I think he is probably the best keeper in the world at this moment in time. Genuinely. Better than David De Gea, better than Mendy, better than Edison, better than the lot. At 21 years of age, that guy's distribution, his penalty saving ability, the consistency, the dominance in the air from corners and free kicks alike, everything about him stands out. Milan are making a huge mistake in not keeping him at Milan, where he wanted to stay. Instead, he's going to go to PSG for the rest of his career and probably win them a Champions League if Mbappe stays. Oh, honestly, it was a night to remember. A night where I thought England were going to go all the way. Luke Shaw, a player that, if you know me, I've admired for years. The comeback of a lifetime, the way he had such a fantastic run of games and years before the injury that unfortunately he got where he broke his leg. He then had like 9 months of recovery, coming back into a Mourinho side where he was criticised for being unfit, fat, not great at getting up and down. The work rate was criticised for then Ollie to come in and then revamp his career, where he gave him the confidence. He's shaved his head. He's got that tennis ball trim. He goes up and down the pitch like I don't know what. His crossing ability was criticised. He then improved that. He's 26. Honestly, just about reaching his prime. I'm excited for this England side for next year. I think there's a lot of things to take from this for players alike. It's a very young side. You look at Calvin Phillips, at very young. Mount's still very young, 24. I think his age is. Rashford's 23. You forget Rashford's 23 with how experienced and professional he is and all the stuff you admire him for off the pitch. You forget he's 23. Saka's 19. You've got Bellingham, who's 17, just turned 18. You've got a very strong player in Greenwood who would have been brilliant to bring on against that Italian side. I think he would have bullied their left back, more so than Saka. This is a very, very young side. A very young side mixed with an experienced back four in Maguire, Stones, Walker, Shaw, who can keep going for another. Well, Walker not so much, 32, 33, but then you look at Wan-Bissaka and Reece James coming through a very, very good back four to keep going for potentially another World Cup, another Euros and another World Cup. It's promising. It's something to build on. And I think as a nation, we should be proud. They've done the nation proud. They've brought together so many people in the whole of the country, given us promise. We've shown the badge is more than just a game. It's a community. The whole community have come together, and the passion and everything about England coming together and celebrating what could have been and was brilliant to be in a final, basically for the first time in 55 years. It's fantastic to be a final. Witness history. That's the big one. Witness history. I'm so happy. So happy. As my camera keeps phasing in and out for some obscure reason. But yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to come back and hopefully bring you more now. A few fancy Premier League tips. A few transfer videos. A few bits and this and that. The Journeyman save will continue. Whether or not I upload a lot of them, I might call it quite early, because for that in itself, I don't think it would be a fantastic top quality type of save. Whether or not I'll just do it every so often and just keep it a weekly thing to see how far we can go, I don't know. But I'd like to try and bring you a few more of them just so I can play through it a bit more. Hopefully a Rovers Return episode for you as well, see how that progresses. And yeah, I am back for the foreseeable future now, trying to bring you a lot of content. And hopefully I won't be gone for too much longer. 2 weeks is a long time. I've had a lot of breaks. A few football kit videos as well. It should be promising. The comeback is on. The comeback is on. I am inspired to make more videos. So yeah, hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, as ever, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. 75 subscribers, cannot be happier with that. I'm absolutely buzzing. Considering I've been away for 2 weeks, I didn't think I'd get subscribers like that for the last few weeks. But yeah, thank you very much, and I shall catch you in the next video. From me, Alex, celebrate this time. It's been fantastic. Enjoy yourselves. Get behind the team. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm back. See you soon. Ciao.